Hello everyone, good morning. This is Rajeev Kumar, Data Analytics Instructor at Brillica Services. Today I will be talking about DFD, that is Data Flow Diagram. So let's begin. So first of all, what comes into our mind is to know about DFD. So what actually DFD does and what it is all about, that we will look at here. So basically, data flow diagram, it is a visual representation of how data flows within a system. Basically, it shows where data is coming from, how data is processed, where data is stored, and where data goes. So basically what happens is DFD helps us to understand the system logically without focusing on technical coding details. So we don't have to focus on coding details. What we require actually is to understand the diagram logically. So the first and the foremost question that creeps into our mind is, why do we use DFD? Basically, DFD is used to understand system requirements. It helps us to communicate system flow with clients and team members, identify missing or redundant processes. By redundant, I mean repetitive tasks. It helps improve design before development, and they are widely used in system analysis and data analytics. Talking about the components of DFD, the DFD has been categorized basically into 4 components, that is external entity, process, data flow, and data store. So we will have a look at each component separately. As you can see in this diagram, the process is represented by this diagram, external entity by a rectangle. This is the representation of a data flow, and this is the data store. So first, talking about external entity. So what actually is external entity? External entity represents people, system, or organization that interact with the system. Its examples are customer, bank, and admin. Its symbol is a rectangle. So external entities are always outside the system boundary. So typically what process actually mean? Process shows how input data is transformed into output data, because we need input to process something, and that is processed, and what we get is the output. Its examples are process order, calculate salary, and validate login. Its symbol is circle or rounded rectangle, as I had shown you in the earlier slide. Now each process must have at least one input and one output. So minimum requirement is at least one input and one output. Here I'll talk about data flow. So data flow represents the movement of data between entities, processes, and data stores. Its examples are order details, payment information, student records. Its symbol is arrow. Now the arrow shows the flow of the data. Basically, you can relate it with a vector that you might have studied in your class 11th or 12th level. Now, when it comes to data store, so what typically data store does? So data store is where data is stored for later use. Its example are database, files, and data tables. Symbols, open-ended rectangle or parallel lines, as I had shown you earlier in the slide. Now data stores are connected only through processes. Now the DFD has been categorized into 3 labels basically, that is label 1, label 2, and label 3. Label 1 DFD is called context diagram. So let's have a look at each label one by one. So here I'll talk about label 0 DFD, that is context diagram, that is also called context diagram. It primarily focuses on external entities' overall data flow. It does not show the internal process or data stores. Talking about label 1 DFD, label 1 DFD typically shows multiple processes, data stores, and detailed flow diagram. So this gives you a better and clear picture of the system operation. So while comparing label 0 with label 1, to label 1 is much more clear when it comes to system operations and explaining the system operations. Talking about label 2 DFD, label 2 DFD it is what actually it does, it furthers breakdowns level 1 processes. It is used when the process is complex. So when we are dealing with the complex processes, we need to have the level 2 DFD. More explanation is required in order to deal with this DFD, that is level 2 DFD. So typically not all system needs level 2 DFD. As you can see here, I have taken a simple example of online shopping system where the external entity is customer, process is place order, data store is your database, and data flow is the order details and payment information. As you can see in this diagram, here you can see the customers, here is the place order, and here is the order database. So these arrows shows you order details, then you have the order details here also, but because it flows, and the payment information comes back to customer. Now there are some rules that we need to understand before applying DFD. Actually what happens is the data cannot flow directly from entity to data source. Data must pass through a process. So there has to be a process. Without process, DFD cannot be applied. Now, every process should have input and output. That is of prime importance actually. And data flow name should be meaningful. It should have a meaning actually, because if it is not meaningful, the client or the customer won't be able to understand DFD better. Further, we commit some common mistakes while applying DFD. So we need to avoid these mistakes as far as DFD is concerned. Missing data flow labels. There should not be any missing data flow labels, and too many details in level 0. We cannot provide too many details in level 0 because level 0 does not deal with detailed explanation, particularly talking about level 0. The processes has to be connected. We cannot think of unconnected processes, and of course we cannot mix DFD with flowchart symbols, because flowchart is different and DFD is different. That I'll show you later on. Now here I need to explain you the difference between DFD and flowchart. Basically DFD focuses on the data movement. Its prime focus is on the data movement, whereas flowchart focuses on control, flow and logic. Now what actually DFD does? DFD answers what data is, actually it is, but whereas the flowchart answers how process works step by step. So the most important aspect that we need to know is where DFD is used. So typically DFD is used in software development, data analytics projects, business analysis, system design and database design. So at the last, I would like to move on to the conclusion, that is data flow diagram is powerful and simple, but it is very powerful actually. It can help you understand the flow of the data logically without applying codes. It helps us visualize data movement clearly. Data flow diagram makes system understand easy for both technical and non-technical people. Because there are people who won't be able to understand codes. So in order to make DFD stronger and impactful, DFD is very important as far as non-technical people are concerned. So it is simple to understand. So we need to start simple, then go to the deeper level by level. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more.